Alright, I'm doing a review of Black Panther, and there is nothing you can do about it. This is issue 519, and it has a terrible cover. It combines with the next issues, so I will hold back most of my criticism of it until we see them side by side. But it also doesn't work as a cover by itself. Neither of them do. And, well, just wait until the next part for more on that. This here is part one of a two-part story where Black Panther is being hunted by Spider-Man's enemy, Hunter-Man. A good premise. And this is during that much maligned and misunderstood period of Black Panther, where he came to America and stopped being an overwritten twat. This panel is a bit amusing because he is suiting up with an improbable amount of weapons. And then for the rest of the issue, he doesn't have most of any of them. Right now, we have a scientist lady who is doing all the unethical and evil science stuff on animals and homeless people and runaways and persons like that. And Black Panther, he is having none of that. Whoever it was who said that they liked how Black Panther was drawn in this book, make yourself known down below. So our setup for this series was that Black Panther, he was no longer king of Wakollywood. His sister was now in charge. So Black Panther came to America and he returned to his hard stomping ground from the late 60s and early 70s. He was also filling a void left by his friend Daredevil, and idiots take issue with that and act as if this direction, which is built on the back of years of continuity, is insulting and demeaning to Black Panther. So he is being hunted by Hunter-Man, and this is a solid idea. It is a good matchup, really clever choice. You have Black Panther's connection to the African wilderness and panthers. It works. We have a really good battle, and this bit here I love because it lampshades the type of writing I despise with Black Panther. He has been drugged, he has been hit with tranquilizer darts, and Black Panther tries to beat the drugs by consciously using his willpower to reject them from his body and eliminate them from his system. This is utter rubbish that would happen nowadays. But he quickly realises that he is not capable of doing that. And it was only ever a ridiculous arrogance to believe that he could. The other thing is that Hunter-Man is alive again. Hunter-Man is an annoying prospect in some ways. He was a rotten character for years. He was a lousy, lame character with laser shooting nipples. And then, when he was finally remade into a quality bad guy and a quality character, it was also the story that ended with him committing suicide. We had gotten this really, really good character, but at the expense that he could never be used again because his definitive story ended with him dying. To undo his suicide is to undo the very story that had made him an intriguing thing. Nevertheless, Marvel brought him back, one of the many awful and insulting things that got let through the door during the Dan Slott regime on Spider-Man. Characters like Hunter-Man, with good, meaningful deaths, have them overturned because Dan Slott and his friends, they think they can write them better than all the people who so perfectly put them into retirement. Bringing Hunter-Man back, all it did was undo the impact of the ending to one of the best Spider-Man stories ever written. And most of what has been done with Hunter-Man since has been reducing him to being a silly Billy, goofy bad guy for Squirrel Woman. Fucking diabolical company. Marvel are terrible. I didn't say that enough. I tend to be reviewing comics I like. And I like this comic, but there is the presence of reminders of how woeful Marvel are. We get a little bit of backstory on Hunter-Man. It is inessential, but it doesn't cheapen the character or his originy. To have him share a hitherto unseen history with that scientist woman from the start. It's a bit contrived and convenient, but I really like this issue and this run as a whole. I recommend it, and I feel bad that a chunk of this video has been moaning about them resurrecting Hunter-Man. And I didn't even point out that Marvel, they had already introduced upwards of 3 legacy characters who could easily fill Hunter-Man's shoes. But it was always about claiming characters and making a stamp on history with people like Dan Slott or even Michael Bryan Benson. Next issue is going to have a lot of complaining too, because I have not discussed the racist marriage of Black Panther and Storms, and how insulting and demeaning this was. For some reason, it is this run of competent and well-told stories that the militant Black Panther supremacists take umbrage with, because he isn't an infallible royal king, and they've got no problem with all the disgusting, xenophobic, racist shite that came before it, because at least their precious Black Panther was sitting on a throne. I definitely reckon this story is worth a look. This rating has naught to do with the character's race or his position as a cultural icon, but I give this 7 thumbs up.